Call to order the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of March 17, 2025. Roll call, please.
Thorstenson.
Here.
Woodside.
Here.
Ross. Garner.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
Balmas.
Present.
6 present.
All present. If you'd stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready, huh?
Come on down, guys. Hi, Tom. Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, so- guys. Hey, good, thanks. Hi. Hey, I'll look up, right? Congratulations. 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 I haven't seen anybody I can look down at yet. Congratulations. So I just want to start for tonight and just really say that the amazing job that you guys did, second place in the whole state. I understand there's 142 teams and you took second place. I think that's pretty good, right? It's an awesome job. So I went to Warren High School years and years ago, and I remember my time in high school well. I think you guys will remember this last weekend and days really well. And that as you grow older and you'll look back and you'll think about some of the things that your coaches taught you, how hard it was to get where you're at. No, it wasn't easy, that you came against some pretty significant odds, and that in life it's some similar things will happen to you as well. So you've been trained to do those kind of things, and tonight we just really wanted to say thank you on behalf of the Village of Gurnee for making us proud. It's been a time for us that I know we always had that thing. It's right. I'm from Warren High School, but we're from the Village of Gurnee, right? Doesn't make a lot of sense, no? But Warren Township. So what I'd like to do is if I could have Coach introduce you guys so everybody knows who is part of the team. Coach?
Well, thank you for having us here tonight. With me to my left, I have Coach Jose Silva, Coach Pat File, senior player Jack Wolf, and captain. Senior player Javarion Banks. Junior player Javen Griffin. Senior player Owen Squires. Senior player Zach Osborne. Junior player Joel Posh. Junior player Alexander Asari. Junior player Yvonne King. Senior player Ethan Crump. And senior player Andrew Watson. Well, this team's been a pleasure to coach all year. A lot of ups and downs, roller coaster season, but obviously, you know what we did this past weekend, finished second in state. These guys are back-to-back regional champions, back-to-back sectional champions, and then first-time super sectional champions this year. So, great season.
Job. Awesome job. So I also want to recognize, I know some parents are here, and now that you guys mostly have your driver's license, right? They're not hauling you around to all these things. You're good. But I did hear there's a lot of seniors on the team, so hopefully our sophomore team that's coming up is going to look strong. You guys going to be good next year? Yes, sir. All right. That's all right. Well, that's the attitude, right? Now, I know on our part, it's like none of you guys have had any NIL money, right? Is that right? No? Let me look at all your faces, right? So, yeah, gas money. So we're going to give you just a little taste. It's a little start because I know many of you, the way you played, showed you're going to be playing in college, I'm sure. So maybe there'll be some NIL money there too. So I have some gift cards for you. Let's see. Well, I'll start with you, Coach. Can we come with you? Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys can trade them around. So they're $75 each. Which one do you want? This one right here. That one instead? Trade me right here.
I'll take the Chipotle too.
All right.
Can I have some Chipotle too, please? Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You gotta be the king.
Okay, that's all right. I should be letting you guys flex. Portillo's okay? You like something else? Portillo? All right.
Get in your high school message.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
They probably like Chipotle.
Can I trade it for the Chipotle? Sorry.
Really?
I'll take Portillo, yeah, sorry.
Let's see, what do I got here? Buffalo Wild Wings?
You got Buffalo Wild Wings, Javarian?
Okay, tell you what, there you go. Figure out the rest of your players, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, for the ones that haven't been here. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you very much, guys. You're awesome. We just really appreciate all you did for the Village of Gurnee, and we pray that next year will be just as good and a little better, right? Just one more game, right? So there you go. Good job. Parents, want to get a picture too? Good? Nice. Squeeze in. Yeah, don't make me look so small. How tall are you? 5. Is that what the program said? Did the program tell the truth? Nah, that's not. That's the other. You want the other side to think you're bigger. Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you. Great job, guys. Thanks for coming out. Thanks. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Do free throws for him or something, right? Thank you. That was Pat's idea.
Very nice.
Look, I'll have to look.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the approval of the consent
So
agenda
moved.
as presented. Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee O'Brien. Roll call, please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmus.
Aye.
6-0.
All right, Pat.
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the March 3rd, 2025 meeting. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2025-14, approving and publishing the official zoning map of the Village of Gurnee. Item number 3, the Public Works Department request to allow Water Utility Manager Brett Fritzler to attend the American Water Works Association Annual Conference and Exposition in Denver, Colorado from June 8th through 11th, 2025 at a cost not to exceed $3,000. Item number 4, approval of granting a Class 9 liquor license and waiving the fee to the Exchange Club of Gurnee for the Village of Gurnee, Gurnee Park District Bonfires and Brews event on May 3rd, 2025. Item number 5, approval of engineering division to request to set a bid date of April 14th, 2025 for the 2025 road reconstruction project and the Quality Acre Sanitary Sewer Extension Project. Item number 6, approval of payroll for period ending March 7, 2025 in the amount of $993,508.40. Item number 7, approval of bills for period ending March 17, 2025 in the amount of $1,545,120.83.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Garner, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. On to petitions and communications. We have a few proclamations. All right. First one, First Responder Wellness Week is dedicated to providing resources, support, and community to help public safety personnel better understand the mental and physical health risks that come with the job. As you know, first responders face immense challenges with high levels of stress, exposure to trauma, and demanding physical requirements that go hand in hand with the job. First Responder Wellness Week was created to raise awareness of these unique challenges, provide actionable strategies to enhance personal well-being, and equip agencies with the tools to foster a culture of wellness. This year's theme, Fit for Duty, Fit for Life, highlights the need to prioritize wellness not just for the job, but for the longevity and quality of life for every first responder. Therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, proclaim March 24 to 28, 2025 as First Responder Wellness Week and encourage all residents to prioritize their well-being, recognize that a healthy outside starts from within. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Thorstenson, second by Trustee Garner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
On to the next proclamation. It's approval of proclamation designating April as Fair Housing Month in the Village of Gurnee. April 11, 2025 marks the 57th anniversary of the Fair Housing Act, which guarantees equal housing opportunities for all citizens. Therefore, April is acknowledged as Fair Housing Month and recognizing the importance of fair housing laws and programs in eliminating discrimination and ensuring that individuals in Illinois can choose where to live without being discriminated against based on their race, color, religion, age, gender, marital status, national origin, and/or disability. It is also important to recognize the role of fair housing groups and other organizations in promoting and preserving equal opportunity. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Fair Housing Month in the Village of Gurnee and encourage all residents, businesses, and organizations to promote and preserve equal housing opportunities for all. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien, second by Trustee Ross. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The third proclamation is the approval of proclamation designating April as 911 Education Month in the Village of Gurnee. The Village of Gurnee joins with national public safety leaders to promote 911 awareness and proper usage. The Village of Gurnee begins a month-long campaign in April to help Americans of all ages recognize the importance of 911 and the role they play in ensuring effective and efficient emergency responses in times of crisis. Groups include the United States Congress and National Emergency Number Association, a leading public safety association, have also recognized April as National 911 Education Month and are encouraging the media, the 911 community, the wireless industry, and public information providers to engage in 911 awareness and education activities this month. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as 911 Education Month in the Village of Gurnee and call upon all parents, teachers, school administrators, caregivers, and residents to observe this month with appropriate training events and activities. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Garner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
On to the next proclamation. Approval of proclamation designating April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the Village of Gurnee and recognizing the Blue Kids Lake County Project. During the month of April, we recognize National Child Abuse Prevention Month and the importance of communities working together to help families thrive and prevent child maltreatment. Throughout the year, communities are encouraged to increase awareness about child and family well-being and work together to implement effective strategies that support families and prevent child abuse. Further, I'd like to recognize Lake County Children's Advocacy Center Blue Kids program for encouraging our local businesses, schools, and community to have conversations about child abuse in Lake County, engaging people to speak up, and creating public awareness. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the Village of Gurnee. I call upon and encourage all residents to join in dedicating their energies to cherishing our children and helping them grow and develop free from physical, emotional, and sexual harm. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Ross, second by trustee Garner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The last proclamation is the approval of proclamation designating April as Alcohol Awareness Month in the Village of Gurnee. Alcohol Awareness Month is a public health program organized by the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence as a way of increasing outreach and education regarding the dangers of alcoholism and issues related to alcohol. The program was started in April 1987 with the intention of targeting college-aged students who might be drinking too much as part of their newfound freedom. It has since become a national movement to draw more attention to the causes and effects of alcoholism, as well as how to help families and communities deal with drinking problems. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Alcohol Awareness Month in the Village of Gurnee, and urge all residents to support the efforts of those working to prevent alcoholism. Is there a motion?
Moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee O'Brien. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That, I believe, is the end of the petitions and communications. There's no reports, no old business. On to new business. Item number 1, approval of ordinance 2025-15, granting a zoning map amendment pursuant to the Gurnee zoning ordinance for a portion of 6161 Grand Avenue. Pat or David?
So I'll give you a super high-level overview. We've got some PowerPoint slides to lead us through this thing, and then we'll turn it over to the petitioner to give a more detailed summary of the project. So pretty detailed memo from our Community Development Director, Dave Ziegler. As you know, we've got a proposal in front of the village. The Kai family is looking to purchase the current Holiday Inn and transform that in a new hotel and residency, 10 hotel and residential community. They're looking at converting 113 hotel rooms in the southern wing to 80 multifamily residential units. That'd be a mix of studios and one-bedrooms, 48 studios, 32 one-bedrooms. Looking to target that towards occupants 21 years and older. Studios, one person. The one-bedrooms could have up to 2 occupants, no pets. Then looking to take the remaining 105 hotel rooms on the west wing of the building, remodeling those, upgrading the restaurant to their Maple restaurant and cafe, other improvements throughout the entire facility, both interior and exterior. To accomplish this, there are 3 requests before the village board tonight. So again, first 2 items under new business. The first is a zoning map amendment to rezone a portion of the property, 0.09 acres from R1 single family to C2 community commercial district. So you'll remember this is where that old sewer treatment plant was that we forced annexed, knowing this proposal would come forward with the request of the rezoning to the C2. So that's the first item. Second 2 are included in item number 2 under new business. It's a special use permit for preliminary PUD development plan application with certain departures from the village's zoning ordinance to redevelop 80 residential units and renovate hotel rooms and restaurant. And then final planned unit development PUD application. The special use permit, there was 12 conditions tied to that. 10 of them relate to electronic message board signs. So they're the 10 conditions that the village puts on those signs as far as how often they change, the resolution, setbacks, et cetera. Other 2 relate to parking for the site. That, again, I'll let the petitioner get in some more detail on that. So now that we got the PowerPoint fired up, turn it over to the petitioner.
I will quickly go through and kind of give a high-level overview of what the requests are. 2 ordinances in front of you tonight, the first of which is second part to the forced annexation that we did at the last village board meeting. The property that we forced annexed bridges 2 different properties. The first being the former Holiday Inn property with 0.09 acres on that parcel. Now that we have annexed it, brought it in as an R1 single-family residential zone property, it's appropriate to go ahead and rezone it to the C2 consistent with the rest of the site. This is a staff-initiated request. So that's the first ordinance in your packet tonight. The second ordinance is a combination preliminary PUD approval, final PUD approval, and approval of the PUD agreement. So several aspects of that project. The first of which is the introduction of multifamily residential into our C2 zoning district would only apply to this site as part of the PUD agreement. The second aspect is to allow off-site parking to meet the parking requirement. There are 134 parking stalls that the site is deficient as it sits. So with the combination of valet services and off-site parking agreements, they will be able to meet those. The third relief is for the sign for the front of the building. The ground sign has a slight deficiency, which is typically handled by a minor sign exception as far as the height. It has a slight deficiency based upon the existing location of the existing monument sign as far as setbacks from the curb cut. And then they are also requesting a changeable message sign similar to what some of the ones we have in town. So general overview, converting the south wing of the existing hotel facility into a residential, multifamily residential facility. 113 hotel rooms being converted to 48 studio and 32 one-bedroom apartments. Renovating the existing hotel along the remainder of the hotel rooms, and then rebranding and renovating the restaurant space that is in the former Holiday Inn hotel facility. So a little bit deeper dive into the requests for relief, schedule of exceptions, revising section 8.1 of the zoning code to allow for the multifamily residential being allowed in the C2 zoning district, allowing 134 parking stalls being located off-site through a valet services agreement, allowing the sign to be 13 feet 7.5 inches in total height above our 12-foot commercial height requirement. Like I said, this would typically be allowed by the PZB through a minor exception. Similarly, allowing the sign location to be within 10 feet of a driveway entrance. It's sitting at 8.5 feet. This, once again, would be allowed by the PZB under a minor sign exception. And then finally, the introduction of a changeable message sign, which is typically a special use permit. Since we are going through a PUD process, we went ahead and incorporated that into the planned unit development agreement. And so the Planning and Zoning Board reviewed the presentation, approved it unanimously with a couple of recommendations for the parking, written and signed parking agreements, showing a continuous term in the number and location of parking spots be submitted to our department prior to an occupancy permit for the residential establishment. And that if those parking agreements ever change, they would have to provide us ample evidence of parking agreements elsewhere. For the electronic message board, the same 10 requirements that we have seen and approved on several other ones. The highlights with them, there goes dark between 6 a.m. or between midnight and 6 a.m. No flashing motion, static images for 30 seconds at a time before they immediately transition. And details as far as the resolution of the sign, and then it also has to be a single message on each 30-second long image. So those are the standards that we've reviewed and approved on previous electronic message board signs, so they have been incorporated into the plan unit development agreement in front of you. So with that, that is kind of a high-level overview of the project. The Kayets are here to answer any questions, and I'm available as well. Thank you.
All right, who's up first?
Thank you, Dave. That was pretty thorough. Appreciate it. My name is Glenn Christensen. I've been asked by the Kayet family to help them through this process for this project, which is a little unusual. I think this is probably the first PUD request that doesn't involve any new construction of any building. All this project entails is within the existing buildings that are on site, which will be changed over. That south wing, that gold color on the site plan, that's the section of the of the hotel that will be converted to the multifamily. And along with that will be secure doorways and also secure parking area that will only have access to the residents. There will not be any mix between the hotel and the other people with the hotel or the restaurant. So they'll have guaranteed parking area as well as guaranteed secure access to the building there. I think I'll let the Coyotes talk a little bit about the restaurants and some of the work they're going to do on the interior. I might want to make a note on the reason for the request for the signage departures is the fact that the sign is being is going to utilize the existing base that's there. It's the exact same size as the sign that's there. When that sign was installed, it was done under the then current ordinance, which it complied to everything. The ordinance has since changed, so we had to ask for this departure to comply with your new ordinance and to comply with the requirements. As far as the parking's concerned, it's was kind of a difficult thing to determine how much was needed. We determined what the ultimate number would be based on all the uses being occupied at the same time. As you know, there's a parking agreement with the Northwestern Medical Facility, which is utilized as part of that parking lot during their working hours and are guaranteed so many of those per day. But later on at night, then, that can be used for any of the uses at the hotel. On top of that, arrangements have been made by the Coyote family for valet service to be in the building, and I'll let them talk about it a little bit too. But to valet those cars in 2 different locations, over at Gurnee Mills and then over at the car dealership to the west. And those agreements have been talked about, put together, and will be signed once the Coyote family are property owners. And that was one of the recommendations by the PZB. Again, all the work will be done on the interior of the building. There'll be some cosmetic work done on the outside as far as paint. Looking at the landscaping, maybe enhance that a little bit, repair some things there, and the signage on the building as well. Again, I think we've done a lot of work here. The staff's been very cooperative with us during this process. It's a little different animal than I think we're used to in requesting zoning changes. I might add the Planning and Zoning Board recommended these requests unanimously, 7-0 on each of these. And we've worked out as well a development agreement, which we will finalize with the impact fees with the different taxing districts when we finalize those. We feel this is a great project. It will bring back a hotel that's in dire need of new management and for some new remodeling. It'll bring in some money into the Gurnee Mills area. It'll bring in some housing into the new Gurnee Mills area. I think if you look around the county or the country, is that a lot of shopping centers and malls, a new component in most of them now is a residential component. And I think this could be a start to providing some of that in this area. With that, I'll hand it over to Chris Coyote, and we're all here, the Coyotes, here to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
This guy's done a great job. Thank you very much. On behalf of my wife and I and my family, who most of us are here tonight, we are taking great pride in this project. I've been doing this for 40 years, all over Lake County. We've renovated a number of distressed properties, and this one is very special. I can't tell you how excited we are to bring this to the community and to save this project and this property. And our idea is, I think, so fresh and new and innovative that it's going to take off like a jet and hopefully be one of Gurnee's shining diamonds in the sky. And with that, again, thank you for the council members and their dedication to the city, and thank you from the Kayat family for taking a look at this for us. I'm going to bring my sons and my daughter-in-law, Nikki, up to go over some of the fantastic things we're going to do with this project.
So Chris, before you step down, I think you at least have to acknowledge when you first saw this location. When did you see it first?
You know what?
Go ahead, tell me the story.
I saw it first about a year.
No, I'm talking about a long time ago.
Oh, long time ago?
Long time ago.
We were actually married and had our wedding reception at this Holiday Inn, and we have the sign with our Twyla and Chris Kayat's wedding announcement on the sign. So that brings particularly more sentimental value to this project. I can't tell you, we are going to put our hearts and all our efforts into this. I just got to control Nikki's spending, and I can do that, hopefully. We appreciate everything that you guys give us in this community, and I want to turn it over to the future.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
So we'll,
I think
David-
he's holding Dad back. Isn't that the three of you guys? This is the way it works. It's not he.
yeah, he don't stop. I wish we could keep up with him. It would make things a lot easier on our side. But, Dave and Glenn kind of walked you through the nuts and bolts of the project, so we'll kind of give you an overview, and if you want to stop us at any point, do so. So the reason we're presenting this, and first and foremost, and looking for the zoning change is the hotels in Gurnee currently, as you guys know, are about 70 to 80 rooms on average outside of Great Wolf, which is an anomaly and doing fantastic. I couldn't believe how incredible that's doing. And they're running at about a 70% occupancy. This hotel has 210 rooms, which presented a challenge for us when we first looked at it. And the residential aspect of it really creates a base that makes the hotel work financially. So it gives us the opportunity to do all the other incredible aspects and amenities that we're looking to do inside of the facility. So we're going to, like the previous has said, we're going to liven it up. We're going to make it a fresh atmosphere. From the moment you walk in the door, there's going to be ambient, music playing versus the crickets that are noticeable when you walk in now. But we'll have a specific smell. Everything will be curated from the front to the back. This is kind of a vision board, and Nikki can walk you through just the different textures and the different aspects of the hotel. Go ahead, Nick.
Thank you very much. So we want to, first and foremost, like my father-in-law says, we want this to be the crown jewel of Gurnee. We think it's such a unique and fresh concept. We love Gurnee. That's why we continue to invest in it, and we wouldn't rather do this project anywhere but right here in our backyard. So if you want to take a journey through our vision board, so we want to bring some luxury, some pizzazz, a city feel in our beautiful village, playing with textures and warm tones and like Elliot said, inviting fragrances. We actually have a specific fragrance being designed right now that will be unique to the 10 hotel. Can you switch back one?
Back.
Thank you. That's good. We're going to put in a state-of-the-art workout facility, transitioning the existing workout facility that's there into a yoga and flex studio. Down on the bottom left, the banquet space is beautiful, but we're getting a little bit sick and tired of hearing all of the brides and conventions celebrate all of their events in surrounding towns. So we want to bring the brides back to Gurnee. So we feel within budget, a few minor changes to the existing banquet room, we really can execute that. And then on the bottom right, we had the idea to actually do Maple restaurants right here in Gurnee, but it was going to be a new build. But the infrastructure is there to do it within the four walls of the hotel. So we're really excited to showcase that. In a couple slides from now, I'll walk you through that more specifically.
Yeah, so as we said, it's a family project that we're just so thrilled to do, and I want to have my brother walk you through kind of the background, where we came up with 10, and really what the heart and soul of the project is.
Thank you for having us tonight, Christian Kite. So I've been in operations with my dad for about 30 years, and this is going to be our largest operation we've ever done. So we needed to cultivate all of us. We're all going to have offices on location here. We're going to be hands-on. And the name 10 brings in our brother, Marsh, that we lost in 2003. So that was his number in all of his sporting, and he was a 5-sport athlete. He was the center of my mom and dad's life, the center of our life, and this is going to be the center of our family. So we're going to bring all that heart and soul to this project, and you will see it shine through. Marsh has been a lucky angel for us, and he'll come through here too. You guys are going to be very impressed with what you see happen at that property. So we are all hands on deck here, and this place is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, if you ever catch us in Vegas, you'll see us around a roulette table all screaming 10. So that's the reason why. So if you go to the next slide. So this just gives you an idea of the motif that we're going to do throughout the hotel. It's going to be more of a modern vibe, a lot of different textures, a lot of new lighting, main fixtures in the ballroom and the hotel lobby. So just bring it back to life with some vibrancy. If you want to slide through to the next slide, we're going to start with the residences. So like everyone said, it's a combination, 32 one-bedrooms, 48 studio apartments. We'll limit it to one person in the studios, 2 people in the one-bedrooms, and we're going to really go after young adults. We want kids who are coming home from college that live in our community instead of moving back in with their parents. This could be a residential community that they can have fun in, enjoy, be proud of, and still have a little bit of privacy and not have to come home and move back in with their parents, which can be a tough situation. So that's who we're going to target. That's who we're going to go after. When we established the rents, we wanted to stay at a competitive rate. So you'll see the same rates in all the other apartment complexes throughout Gurnee on the east side, and this being really in the center of the town and the city center. We feel like it just provides so many different aspects for people, to go across the street, go to Gurnee Mills, go shopping. You can touch and go to everywhere that you want to be in Gurnee from this center. So that's going to be huge for our young community. And this gives you an idea. Nikki can walk through just kind of what we're going. If you want to switch to the next slide, Dave. Give you an idea of how she designed the rooms and what kind of style she's going for.
So if you saw the previous slide, which you don't have to go back to it, we want the residences to feel different from the hotel, but still both have luxury finishes, utilizing some high-end products like quartz countertops. We have all-in-one kitchenette units, playing with what's on trend, but that will last a lifetime. Obviously, you heard my father-in-law slam me on the budget. I stay within the budget, but I would like to only remodel and really give this presentation once, so in the next 20 years. So we're really going for quality. And if all goes according to plan, it's going to be as busy as we think it is. So we want things that are sustainable, that are going to hold up.
Yeah, so this is the 3D vision, and then I'm going to show you, if you go to the next slide, shows you the 2D vision. So you'll have, like Nikki said, a full kitchen, stand-up fridge, freezer. There'll be a 2-burner stovetop, microwave, washer sink, and then you have a living area. These are approximately 700 square feet, the 1 bedroom, and the studios will be approximately 350 square feet. This is the studio on the next slide. So we're staying in the same design motif, and we found different ways to, make it spacious. It's, it's still a studio, but we just separating the bed and giving some privacy. And there's actually a new design aesthetic. There's a curtain that's going to run through the rooms for more privacy with people as they come in. And then you see the 2D version as well. So a small living area, your bed in the top right corner, your bathroom, and then the kitchen with the same features as the 1 bedroom in the kitchen. So what we're really going after is the amenities that we're going to offer. So on top of the restaurants, we'll have a full-service restaurant. We'll have a full-service lounge that serves dinner, breakfast restaurant. but we thought that this was a cool feature that we're going to add. So the residents will have the capability to have full-service laundry. So for $2 a pound, you can, use our Kayet app. You can book it right through, just like you're booking. It books the same way as you would an Uber. So you click it. If it's available at that time, you would schedule it, and within 24 hours, we'll have your laundry done, folded, cleaned for you back at your door. That will also offer we'll also offer coin laundry. If you don't want to do that feature, there'll be ability to just do your laundry yourself via coin in the facility, and that's already currently on the facility. So another amenity that we think is great, and we're cross-utilizing staff. You can stay on this one. I'm not there yet, but it's fine. Is a full-service maid service. So again, you'll book the same way. If you want to have your room cleaned when you're out having a drink or grabbing lunch, you can book the maid to come up, clean your room, clean, straighten, and that'll be, a competitive rate that we're still deciding on at this point. But we feel like those are two features that, young adults will really love, anyone really love to have done. So we're excited for those amenities. We'll also have 24-hour room service. So it'll be serviced from our Maple restaurant for breakfast and lunch, and then our lounge, which is going to be called Twyla's after my mom, for dinner. So they'll have the capability to not, leave site, and instead of paying 30% more via DoorDash or Uber, they can book on our site, no extra charge, and have it, up to their room as fast as any possible way. So that's another amenity that we feel is going to really set us apart. You can go to the next slide. So this one always gets stuck. I can talk through it, and we can. So we're gonna. Yeah, we want to speed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Oh, no.
Okay. So there'll be a market inside of the hotel. So some grab-and-go items, some produce, fresh produce, milk, your essential items, Advil, things of that nature. So not a full grocery store, but something that, you can stock your fridge with a couple things and grab and go as you need. So you're getting fresh products and not, a bunch of fast food all the time. Yeah, Nikki can also talk. In the shop, there's going to be some local vendors that we're going to feature, and you can touch things from there.
So we want to dedicate a portion of the retail space to local vendors, local moms, local dads. I don't know if anybody's a member of the Gurnee Moms page, but it's such a great resource, generally speaking. But there are so many parents in there that have their own businesses within town. So we'd like to dedicate a portion of that retail space to them and their small businesses. In addition to 10 branded hotel attire, we'll be able to sell the scent there. We really want it to be, if you're having a staycation or a vacation when you're coming to town, to bring a little piece back. And then it's a constant reminder that they need to book with us again next year.
You can go to the next slide. So a great feature inside of the lounge, we're going to have 2 state-of-the-art golf simulators. So for, weddings coming in, while the girls are getting ready, guys can go down and play golf. Anyone can go down and play golf. It'll be available in the lounge. You'll book it, and I think that's going to be a great feature to the hotel as well, for the residences, the hotel guests, and the banquet guests, and people of the community. You can go to the next slide. So this shows you a little of the decor that we're going for inside of Maple Cafe. So it's a breakfast driven. We'll be serving lunch as well, but we want a lot of fresh greens, vibrant. It'll have 2 French doors that'll open up into the patio, so you'll be able to eat indoor and outdoor, and that'll be full service, as well as a cafe, like a quick grab and go Starbucks, like a small Starbucks, but we're going to use an independent brand, so you can grab a coffee, and that'll also service the restaurant as well. I want to go to the next slide. This gives you an idea of what we're going to do. So there's a courtyard that currently sits in between the pool and the restaurant. So we're going to take that courtyard and bring it back to life. It's beautiful as it sits, but it needs some fresh flowers, decor, lighting, and it's going to be a space where people can get outside, get some fresh air, have a drink, have a coffee, and sit in the restaurant or by the pool and be serviced. Go to the next slide. So what we plan to do with the pool as well, we're gonna take the gym. There's about 1,000 square foot gym in the pool right now. We're gonna turn that into a yoga flex space, and then we're gonna add about 1,000 square foot gym on the east side of the pool. that'll look into the pool, and we're going to add French doors into the pool as well, so you can kind of, in the summer when the weather's nice, we can open those doors and get a nice breeze through there. We're going to add some cabanas, so you'll be able to, eat by the pool and get cabana-style service. So we really want to bring that pool to life, and we feel like the things that we're going to do are going to make it that way. I touched base on the gym and the flex studio already. So the banquet hall is, that's in our blood, it's in our DNA, hospitality and food service. So we're really going to drive the banquet hall. We feel like we can bring a lot of conventions back into town. Like Nikki said, we're going to bring brides back to Gurnee, and that's something that every day we make a new connection of something that we're bringing into town. The U.S. Foods, they call it their Scoop magazine feature. We've booked with local vendors. We have all kinds of events that right now it's not being utilized for, and so we're excited. I'm going to let Nikki talk to our Navy partnership.
So once the sale is final, we'll be able to sign the deal with the Navy base to be one of their preferred hotels. We're really excited about that. Right now, we provide food for a welcome dinner that is done through a third party, but we're really excited to work direct with the Navy base on this and provide a shuttle service. So one of the biggest issues is they're staying close to the Navy base, but there's really nothing to do over there. They all want to get to Gurnee Mills, but they don't have transportation. Sometimes cabs are hard to find, Ubers, are kind of touch and go still. So we would like to provide a shuttle service that will take them from our location to Gurnee Mills and then back to the Navy base. In addition to the U.S. Food Scoop Show, we have relationships just based on our restaurant contacts with Southern Wine and Spirits, Breakthrough Beverage, so hosting wine events, bourbon events, things of that nature. In addition to cheerleading and dance competitions. So we're really trying to focus on different areas that aren't just bridal, even though bridal would be our target market. We're really trying to think out of the box and bring everybody away from Schaumburg and back to Gurnee.
Of the banquet facility? Yeah, so it's 10,000 square feet, and we can sit up to 600 guests in that banquet facility. And it's divisible 4 ways, so we could have 4 groups of 100 when it's divided, when the dividers are in. So there's multiple uses and multiple avenues that we're going to go after to fill that space. This gets into the parking slide. I'm going to let Christian kind of talk about what we've set up.
Yeah, so we have contacted one of the, what we see top valet service that's going to be on site 7 days a week. We're going to offer valet to the residents and the hotel guests. They will handle everything from the car. They'll get your bags. They'll bring it to the front desk. So it's going to be like a full-service bell and valet. We have agreements with Rohrman next door, once we own it, to be able to park cars there, and we'll stack and shuttle them there. And we also have an agreement with Gurnee Mills to do the same as well. We don't feel parking is ever going to be an issue. I have spoken with the gentleman that's going to do the valet. He's also in charge of our parking lot, the appearance of our everything. So the facility is going to be kept in top shape. He has access to up to 15 to 18 guys. So if we have a 600-person banquet and we have a full hotel and all restaurants are all going, he can park up to 150 cars per hour. So I think we're going to be very well. I think you'll be better off than it's ever been as far as parking goes there. You won't have to wait to get your car parked. So
the final slide gives you an idea of the design aesthetic and the colors that we're going to use on the outside, which I think, it's the same structure, but it really makes it pop. It makes the building pop. Lastly, we're going to bring up, so in a facility with banquets going on, residences, hotels, security is our #1 priority. So we've contracted the services of McCarthy and Burns, and I'm going to let them talk. We were actually on site today looking at camera locations. I don't think we could put another camera anywhere based on what Bobby wants me to do, but I'm going to let them talk and give you a little background of what they're going to bring to the project.
Good evening. We were welcome to jump aboard on this project, and like the Kayet family said, it's a family affair. Our Vice President, Tony Scarpelli, the former chief of Skokie, is actually Nikki's father. So we're keeping it in the family. A little bit about us. Myself, Bob Burns, I've been in law enforcement 30 years. I retired as a deputy chief. And I had a security company now for over 20 years. Approximately 2 years ago, I merged with Gary McCarthy. He's the former superintendent of Chicago Police. He was the number 3 during 9/11 for the New York Police Department. He also served as the Newark Police Chief. He brings a lot of experience. What our vision was for McCarthy Burns is bringing together a lot of leaders. We have Tony from Skokie. We have Joe DeLopez, who was Winnetka. We have several Chicago deputy chiefs, quite a few Cook County Sheriff's Police deputy chiefs. So we're building a management team. We do consulting. We do some physical security. We've done hotel work downtown. We do large security assessments for national companies. We provide them for the CEOs, especially in light of what's been happening now as they're getting targeted. But we'll come into a business, a large condo building downtown, and we'll look at everything from their policies to their procedures, to their safety, to their incidents, to their staff training. And that's exactly since day one we jumped in on this project. Just a few things that we're looking at and we're going to work with them on is their security policies for their employees, their emergency planning. We're also going to train their employees on a steady basis. We'll have a curriculum in place where as they hire new people, new managers, everybody will stick with the same policies. And those would be working with the police department as well. Since we're all in law enforcement, we always know when we show up to a call what could have been done better if this business would have done this or looked at it on different aspects. And then we're going to incorporate a lot of technology. I know they're going to incorporate locking between the hotel and the residential, also the parking, the cameras. Law enforcement could back us up on this. It's great to have video, but if the video isn't usable, we incorporate license plate readers. If you're going to have a video, you have to be able to blow it up and identify faces, tattoos, items of clothing, so the staff will know how to work with law enforcement if there's an incident, and they would be able to quickly access that, and then just responding to any emergencies. And once again, this would be an ongoing partnership. This isn't a one and done for us. It's a little bit of drive for me, but Tony's 10 minutes away. But we're going to be very responsive, and we love to be part of this plan, and we're proud of it. Thank you.
All right, that's the full presentation. Palmer would like to thank you guys if that's okay, and then we can answer any questions.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Palmer. You're going to pull all the stops out, aren't you guys?
Yeah, every last one.
I think that's illegal, probably. So as long as you guys are standing there, I'm going to go to my left and see if there's some questions to my left from any of the trustees. Kevin, Jeannie, Greg.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for bringing swank and swagger to Gurnee. So how fast can you get this done?
We're going to start right away. We hope to start occupying the residences within 3 months, and at that time have the restaurant open, and then we'll be booking banquets. We're going to start as soon as you guys give us approval, and we complete project 8 to 12 months.
I say let's get jiggy.
Yeah, right.
Let's get it done.
We're ready.
So, Jeannie or Kevin, any questions, comments? No?
Well, it's a beautiful project, and I'm quite thrilled by it, but for the residents, along with obviously your guests, the access to the pool, and is that 24/7, or is that going to be limited?
So the gym will be 24/7. The pool access will be limited. We'll close the pool in the early evening. The restaurant, the lounge will be open per our liquor license, so 2 a.m. The breakfast restaurant will be closed. And
Where is the are we calling it
Lounge?
lounge?
So
Thank you.
if,
Bar's okay.
yeah, when you walk into the hotel in the door, it's right on, directly on your left.
So it's kind of where it's been,
Yeah, it's where it's been. We're gonna remodel the current lounge area.
and then that will be open as via bar hours or whatever?
Correct, that's where we'll serve dinner, and we'll have the bar hours, correct.
Okay, thank you.
You mentioned the residences and the hotel portion being separate, but obviously part of them are integrated because there's going to be shared facilities. Can you kind of describe that for me a little better? What's separate and what's going to be combined?
Yeah, so can I walk up, would it be better if I showed you up here?
That helps me a lot, visual aids.
So the building's actually laid out perfectly for it. So this building that goes east to west will be the residential building. So it's two separate buildings, and there'll be key card access where the residences are able to get into the hotel area. All of the amenities are essentially on the hotel side. And then the hotel guests will not be able to get into the
I
residence.
see, okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense, yeah, thank you.
So right, it's like set up perfectly.
One other thing is there's elevators for both too, so they don't share any elevators as well. So the residents have all their own elevators. The hotel guests have all their own elevators, so.
But the
And the
residents
parking.
would be walking through the halls of the hotel to get to the amenities, or?
Yeah, it's probably 40 feet through the hall of the hotel. If they want to stay inside, they can walk outside and reach the amenities as well.
They have their own entrance as well, so they either could use valet and park in valet, or they can park in their designated area and come in through the building on the side, which is separated.
Yeah, there is a separate entrance to the residences, and at times, yes, they will have to walk through a very short hallway to the pool and the restaurant.
For the gym and the pool, though, they won't have to walk through the hotel.
No.
I was speaking to the restaurant. For the gym and the pool, they can access it
Okay,
directly to the
that's,
residences.
thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Clarifies that, 'cause if I was a guest in the hotel, I might not like having the residents walking back and forth or whatever.
Yeah, they don't need to do that.
Okay, thank
The
you.
other thing is the parking for the residences will be also key card. So in order to get into the resident parking, you'll have to slip your card in, and it'll open the gate. So that'll be all private as well.
All right, so to my right, who'd like to start? Anybody questions or comments? Trustee O'Brien?
I'm super excited. I think it's really cool. I think others are going to end up following it also, and it will add just another aspect of putting Gurnee on the map, for sure. I only had one question actually about, so the moving message board is going to be dark from midnight to 6 a.m., but not the whole sign itself, just the moving message board portion, right?
Correct.
Yes. That's what I thought. Okay, fantastic. I agree with Trustee Garner on that, quick as you can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Thorstensen?
Well, you certainly are bringing us some fantastic high-end amenities. Appreciate that. My brain was going as you guys were presenting, and I listened online to the PCB. So some of the ones that I've never seen at any of the hotels and the Chicago visits I've been to, the golf simulator, I mean, that's really cool. The terrace, oh my gosh, does that look beautiful? I hope we just regular old residents get to come and visit it as well. I guess I have two questions. So the one might be quicker. Regarding your cameras on site, I know that there's different types of license plate reader cameras besides flock, but as I'm sure you're already aware, is that Gurnee uses flock. And I believe those other types, I'm looking over towards our place, but both of you, of course, you as well, I'm sorry. But I know those other reader types have the ability to put a console unit into the police department. So do you have a way to make your camera readers readily available to our police?
These would be internal, and they would be ran off with all the other video cameras, but it would create a separate database that the officers could come in, the staff will be instructed on how to access it. So they will not have their own immediate access to it, but they would, when they walk in or call the next day, talk to the office, we could provide them with whatever they would be looking for. And then we would internally collect it for a sense. But it's not a flock, it's not a LPR from Motorola. It's an internal system, which makes it affordable so that we could have the technology. But as you guys know, not pay a $30,000 a year subscription.
Great, thanks. So looking at our police then, do we have readers right near there so that we would be able to catch some of the license plates that are going in and out of there? I believe there's some over by, I just thought it's a little bit more west on, near Gurnee Mills, our flock.
Yes, we have them on Grand Avenue, and we have them all around the mall, but none specifically on Tri-State.
So right by the 10 resident?
Yeah, we're not right next to it, right across the street.
Okay, thank you. The other question, I guess I'm leaning towards David over there, because I didn't recall this question, and it may not be any big deal at all, it's just kind of something I'm wondering, is in your presentation about the exception requirement from an 8.5 to the required 10-foot setback to the curb. So if you don't have a visual, just walk me through it in my brain, which is that a big deal? Is it close? Can it cause traffic to mess up and hit their sign? How does that work?
It's the existing location of the existing sign. So when the current Holiday Inn sign was placed, we did not have a 10-foot setback from curb cuts.
Okay.
The curb cut in question is a right-in, right-out only along Grand Avenue, so it's going to be, I do not have any concerns about it.
Perfect.
And it's from the driveway, it's not from the street, so.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, Trustee Ross.
I think it's great, but I do have a couple questions. The gate that people that are living there come in, is that off of Tri-State Parkway right in, or do they have to go through the parking lot to get to the gate?
The main access gate will be off Tri-State Parkway.
So they come in down, they won't come through the parking lot?
Correct.
And then the gate on the other side,
There'll be two other gates. There'll be one to the, both of them, yeah, that one there, and then on the other side of the building will be gates just for maintenance and for emergency purposes. They'll never be open otherwise.
right, and that's so that people can use the amenities there. But then delivery trucks coming to deliver to the restaurant, they only can come in from, like from Grand, right?
Well, they could, arrangements could be made that they could come through that parking lot and go through that gate if they needed. Like I mentioned, maintenance, that could be set up for deliveries if they needed to.
Because I was just thinking, like, if there's two trucks that come at the same time, is that going to be a problem?
I don't think so. I think there's plenty of room behind the banquet facilities, I think, for about 3 trucks if you needed to line them up, so,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Mayor, I'm
Trustee
so
Garza.
sorry, I forgot one thing. And this one might be to Nikki, but anybody else could jump, I'll take this one. So in the summary packet that we got from Mr. Mutes, on page 3, it states that the banquet facilities would close at 10 p.m. and mainly weekends. And unfortunately, my daughter was one of those brides that we had to go to Chicago, and it stayed open past midnight because she was married on New Year's Eve, so we had a celebratory toast then. So do you consider any exceptions?
I don't know why that would have said 10 p.m. because that
Oh,
would not be our process whatsoever. It would
Wonderful.
probably align with our liquor license.
We'll
Yeah.
go until the party's over.
We're the Coyotes.
I thought
We're
that
going to
was-
party till the sun comes up.
Great, thank you.
All right, if you guys would like to sit down, I think that's the end of the questions, and we'll just go through our voting on this, if that's okay. All right, so on to its item 1, so it's approval of ordinance 2025-15, granting a zoning map amendment pursuant to the Gurnee zoning ordinance for a portion of 6161 Grand Avenue.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Ross. Any further discussion or questions? No? Roll call, please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Motion carries. So on to item 2, approval of ordinance 2025-16, approving a special use for a planned unit development located at 6161 Grand Avenue and approval of preliminary plans, final plans, and public unit development agreement. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by trustee Thorstensen, second by trustee O'Brien. Any questions or comments? None? Roll call, please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Aye. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. So normally I'd say welcome to Gurnee, but you guys are already here, right? So good job. So I'd say about 55 years ago, I first laid my eyes on this, and I'm not sure, Chris, how many years thereafter. As a small child, I saw it, and it doesn't seem like it changed a whole lot since then. So I'm looking forward to all the things you guys are going to do to it, and I agree. I've seen the kites touch on other things in town, so I have high hopes and aspirations for you guys. So thanks for investing in Gurnee. Not many people would undertake the task you guys are undertaking, so I'm thankful that you guys are. So welcome again to Gurnee. Okay, on to item 3, approval of ordinance 2025-17, authorizing an agreement between the Village of Gurnee and Revise LLC to website design and hosting services. Pat?
Yeah, so like the Holiday Inn, the village's website needs a facelift and some improvements. So Austin, the communication team's been working on that. I'm going to have them walk you through this proposal.
So since 2016, the village has been served by American Eagle. Since that time, their service level has been decreasing. The design has become outdated, and costs have been increasing significantly. With this, we decided that we need to update it and better serve our residents online. So the communications team and I conducted a competitive review of the 3 leading municipal website providers, being Granicus, Revise, and Civic Plus. Through demonstrations, evaluating websites, reviewing technical aspects, Revise was the best choice just out of those areas in terms of public access, design and functionality, service, security and reliability, and cost effectiveness. Revise was quoted at $34,700 as a redesign cost and an annual cost of $9,250 with a 0% year-over-year escalator for the term of the contract. Civic Plus was at $57,000 and a $10,481 annual cost and a 5% escalator over the contract. So Revise, was the definite winner there, and in terms of functionality as well. So the communications team recommends Revise as the website provider for the village based on all this criteria, and we anticipate the website development to commence near the end of March. And over the next few months, we'll begin to redesign the site, revise content, or rewrite content, and make sure it's ADA accessible.
All right. Thanks, Austin. I'm going to start with a motion, then we can ask questions if anybody has any.
Second.
Moved by trustee Ross, second by trustee O'Brien. Any questions or comments? There being none, roll call, please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Aye. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. On to item 4, approval of ordinance 2025-18, authorizing the execution of a 3-year Microsoft Enterprise Agreement for cloud software products with Dell Marketing LP.
Sure.
Pat?
So I'm going to let our Information Systems Director, Ryan Nelson, walk you through this one.
All right, so this is our desktop productivity and device management modernization project. We talked a little bit about this during the budget hearing, in that this project would be a major focus for the IS department for the foreseeable future. This really started off as 2 separate projects scheduled in fiscal year 25. Group-wise, has provided a tremendous value for our organization since the mid-90s. I wasn't responsible for that one. But it has been relegated to this minimal support from the current publisher. The product suite of GroupWise has changed hands multiple times. But so there's virtually no new features. There's definitely no new integrations. We're seeing compatibility problems. So it's time to embark on a new direction there. At the same time, with this GroupWise issue, we have traditionally licensed Microsoft Office versions, and last two versions of that are going end of life at the same time this year. It's kind of unprecedented on Microsoft's side. They said, we're getting rid of this old stuff and we're going to make you buy some new things. And then the second part of the project was a tool that we use to manage Windows and the installation and updates of third-party software. Things like Acrobat, not Office version, but Office 2, but Acrobat, Chrome, Zoom, where these applications that we use kind of in daily use. The project is called ZenWorks, from the same publisher as GroupWise. Trustee Woodside might remember both of those things from a different life.
I've been called out. Got BlackBerry and GroupWise in one.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk
I'm
about.
home here.
So security guidance from our cybersecurity insurance process and our security partner Arctic Wolf indicated that exchanging GroupWise for on-prem Microsoft Exchange is not a place we wanted to be. Sorry, I lost my place in my notes. Based on the current market and that best practice guidance, cloud services for Exchange Online and Office were the correct direction there. On the PC management side, budget planning had predicted us actually going down an entirely different path than a Microsoft product, but through product evaluations, some real-world demos, we actually ended up back in the Microsoft pool there. As a bonus, that BlackBerry UEM, that's our current software suite, similar to ZenWorks in managing PCs, but this manages cell phones and tablets, helps us deploy application settings, find lost devices, has proved very valuable there. MDM is not just a security best practice, but it's a requirement for some frameworks, security frameworks that we're subject to here in the village. And this BlackBerry UEM is licensed per device and has recently moved from the traditional license and maintenance model to full subscription, increasing costs for exactly the same product that we have today. So the proposed solution encompasses this Microsoft 365 suite, so it's more stuff than just Office 365. It achieves the goal of providing email, Office, PC management, and the additional benefits of this mobile device management product, and then there's other Windows tools and security features that are part of that that are really kind of above this level of talking. On that proposal, there's also SKUs that are ancillary to the whole project that address mailbox size limits, dynamic administrator rights management, some drawing and reporting tools, and the Entra ID components that sort of elevate the security posture of putting all this stuff in the cloud. All of these things would be hosted in the Microsoft Government Cloud. This is kind of the base security level for US government agencies. And it fulfills security requirements such as keeping data that's cloud sourced on-prem in the US. We actually worked with 3 vendors on this. We've had some timeliness issues with the state contract holder Dell, so I initially went to a different vendor. They advised us that all vendors have access to the same Microsoft pricing levels. As a government agency, we're eligible for Microsoft, they call it level D pricing. It's consistent across vendors, but as it turns out, the contract terms are not the same. So we shifted over to CDW, who said typically we can get exceptions to these contract requirements from Microsoft. They put the nuts and bolts of this proposal together. But then Microsoft wouldn't give CDW approval to do the purchase and redirected us back to Dell to work inside the state contract framework and allow us to purchase with a lower minimum license level. So the other vendors were subject to, we had to have 250 of a particular license count, and ours was only 180, so we're back to working with Dell. That's okay though. When given this project, Dell has sort of stepped up. They tweaked CDW's proposal, came back to us quickly, so at least that looks good, and they are the state contract holder at this point. Cost comparing to our existing solutions, the maintenance contract for the GroupWise ZenWorks product is projected to be around $30K this year. That's been going up at a rate of 15% per year, so year over year. It gets moves up quick and it's getting tough. We have an annual spend of about $5,000 on BlackBerry UEM for that mobile device management. And then on the office side, it's a little bit tougher to compare. Traditionally, we had spent somewhere between $15,000 and $18,000 on new licenses. We effectively would buy a new office license with a PC. But we stopped that practice once Microsoft had announced this end of life coming, so we put a pause on that. Sort of to redo that whole office thing, get to the latest version, sticking with his on-prem plan, sticking with the latest version, but adding maintenance to that, we'd be looking at about $60,000 annually. So all that together adds up to about $95,000 if we sort of stayed on the same path that we are today. So these Microsoft Cloud subscriptions are done in 3-year terms. They're processed in 3 equal annual payments. Microsoft allows for upward expansions of the license count, so the proposal is sort of like where you expect to be over that 3-year term. So in this case, we're asking for a not to exceed approval. So in case we have to increase some of those licenses by small numbers, we don't have to come back to the board for approval for 5 licenses or something. So we're looking for an approval of $110,000 a year or a total contract value of $330,000. Now in reality, this is projected to follow the proposal in front of you, which is a little over $102,000 annually, and I think it adds up to about $307,000. We don't expect a lot of license movement here. If we're going to add a new product into the Microsoft Cloud agreement, we would come back for approval to that. Unfortunately, I was not able to include the purchase agreement in this packet. We need to be further along into that process before we get it. They call it an enterprise agreement, but it's really an enterprise billing agreement. So it's about the billing process. If we don't pay, they stop providing services, is effectively what it is. But similar to that vendor selection, so we're subject to Microsoft's terms there. We don't have any real avenue to make any changes to that process. So we sort of have to agree with what they have or go find a different solution. But to recap, this is a cloud service agreement covering deployment of a new email solution, new office productivity, new PC management, new mobile device management, and directory services to tie it all together, all things that we use daily throughout the village. But I could talk a whole lot about the technical pieces of that and bore everybody to death, so I'll turn it over for questions if there are any.
All right, so is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee O'Brien. Any questions or comments?
I got a question. You starting to sound a lot like Velcro over 2.0.
I know, is that good or bad? I don't know.
And so what I need to know is, out of all of what you just said, does that put us ahead of the technology food chain?
You know what? That
in the
puts
midst
us,
of it or behind the time?
That puts us
And
right where we're supposed to be today.
And cost-wise, is it reasonable?
Cost-wise,
based on what we currently are spending over 3 years?
I think it is, right? So if we compare the $95,000 annually to the $102 roughly annually, we get a lot more and we get modern products for that annual fee.
Sold.
Did I answer that question?
Yes, you did.
I have one question. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, trustee Woodside.
No, I guess it's not really a question, but I appreciate your willingness to go down a long technical path. That is very reminiscent of your predecessor. I will agree with that. No, thank you. But I just want to appreciate, or mention, I appreciate your willingness to push back against Dell when they weren't providing good service, even though that was a dead end, and bring you back to the state contract, investing that time, and challenging that system, and then perhaps making them more responsive in the process.
No, I called Dell and said, listen, we have this separate license and maintenance agreement with Microsoft that Dell processes, and it was a really tough road this year with them. And I called the representative and said, listen, I'm willing to work with you guys again, but you have to get me a different Microsoft team. You have to do that because I can't work with the current team, and they did. So.
Thank you.
Anybody else to my left? You're good. To my right, trustee O'Brien.
Sounds like so much more of this is going to be cloud-based, of course. How does that affect Arctic Wolf?
So Arctic Wolf, we actually have them already queued up to do log monitoring, system monitoring for the cloud pieces of that. It is a separate component and module in the Arctic Wolf system, and they're ready to go once we turn the services up. And we have followed not only their guidance, but what we've seen as best practice in the security space by adding the Entra ID P2 and that list of stuff. That allows different conditional access things to address specific security concerns in modern environments.
Thank you.
Trustee Thorstensen?
Yeah, I'm glad that you've referenced Arctic Wolf a couple times, and I feel like, to Greg's question, or Trustee Garner, that we are getting, I guess, maybe closer to that curve, where the top of the curve where we need to be hearing all of the discussion. Question, and I heard you say if we added more to our Microsoft bundle, we could. Not that I'm looking to press this today, but I don't see Teams on here.
Teams is part of that M365 bundle. It's part of the Office Suite component to that. The M365 bundle versus the Office 365 is traditional Office services, the management piece, and then the extended Windows security and optional features. And part of that Office one is Teams. Teams is included in that.
So I was familiar with Office 365 being separate from Teams, but did I hear you say M365?
Yeah, it is M365, and then
that one I'm not familiar with, so that's where Teams folds in?
The bundles that are available to government are slightly different than the public service bundle.
Got it. Thank you.
Anything else? Trustee Russ? No. All right. Other questions? Is there a motion?
I have one last question.
Will we do a motion?
Yes, sir.
Out of all of what we're getting with what you're proposing, is there something we're not getting that we may need to add later?
This is a pretty aggressive project to start with. We've talked a little bit about options in the IS department, and I think that we have a good list, right? So as Trustee Thorstensen pointed out, Teams is one of the areas that I want to explore. Probably won't come right out of the gate. But the other piece is that Entra ID P2. That's a pretty aggressive security posture, and I think puts us in a good position. I don't think, actually, with CDW's guidance and then Dell tweaking the product list just a little bit, I think we ended up beyond where we had started as far as what products are available. That whole M365 suite versus the Office 365 suite brings a lot more. There's one thing in the management bundle, it's called App Locker. App Locker is effectively a whitelist, see I'm getting into the details, though it's a whitelist of applications that are allowed to run on PCs, and it's a huge security feature. Effectively stopping malware and viruses and stuff in their tracks because they're never going to be in the allow list.
Did you ask that question, Greg? Is it really what you want?
That's exactly what I want.
We're looking forward
Whatever
to
he
those
said.
kind of things just to help secure our environment that are already part of the bundle.
And will this clean up our emails?
No, I can't. It's not going to help there. So the challenge on the emails is just these public.
Ryan tells me when we switch over the new email, I'll have access to blacklist some of those recipe emails.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
There
yes,
you go.
it'll help a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
6 ayes.
Motion carries. Thanks, Ryan,
Thank you.
for that tutoring that you gave us. Yes. Item 5, approval of request from Fire Department to waive formal bidding requirements and utilize the HGAC by ambulance contract number AM10-23 to purchase a road rescue ambulance, including Stryker Power Load Patient Lift System from Fire Service, Inc., at a cost of $397,131. Fire Department Unit 1343. Pat.
Sure. So we have 6 ambulances. Try to run them 10 years. As you know, we're still waiting on 2 ambulances to show up. So one we ordered in September of 22, one we ordered in September 23. One's supposed to be here in May, the other one at spring of 26. So the one unit that we're waiting on to replace, it's a 2012, the other is a 2013. So that 10 years is out the window on those two right there. The next unit up for replacement is 1343, so that's a 2015 model. Included funding in the current budget. Originally, based off of delivery schedules a while back, we'd have it in 26. Now, the current estimated expectancy of that unit is 36 months. We're looking at 2028. So current 1343, 2015, 141,000 miles on it. So with that 3-year lead time, I mean, we're already a little bit behind the 8 ball as far as getting that unit replaced. So with past ambulances, departments requested to go through Fire Service Inc. Purchased a lot of equipment from them. Always been happy with the equipment, with the service, with past units. The mayor mentioned the Houston, Galveston area cooperative buy contract that Fire Service Inc. Has available. So we've used that in the past, looking to use that again. Again, this unit would have the power lift patient lifting system, which is in all of our ambulances, has helped reduce shoulder and back injuries over the years. So all that said, again, looking at a cost of just under $400,000 and a lead time of 36 months. So wanted to get through the budget presentation. That was included in that. Everyone seemed like they're in a good spot with it. So the next step is to get this thing ordered. And that's what we're requesting this evening.
Move
Your
to
motion?
approve.
Motion by trustee Ross.
Second.
Second by trustee Thorstensen.
Regini.
Any questions or comments? Oh, roll call, please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Motion carries. On to public comment. Anybody that would like to step to the microphone and make a statement, if you'd state your name.
Good evening. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Keith Owens, 6464 Doral Drive. Gurnee certainly is a community of opportunity. We saw this evening the Coyotes are going to have the opportunity to bring a wonderful new project upgrade into our community. We're giving our fire and police the opportunities to work with the best training, the best equipment, the best technology. We're having opportunities to promote the arts through the Mayor's Arts Commission, and hopefully with the Care Commission, we're going to have expanded opportunities for the people in our community and around the area that have needs that are not being met. From a communication standpoint, the outreach that has been going on through the websites, through the mayor's meetings, through the village sponsoring community block parties, these are all great opportunities. I appreciate living in Gurnee because I've had the opportunity to raise a family here. My son's had an opportunity to have a career here. But the one thing I'm going to have to bang the drum on once again is communication in terms of transparency. Transparency is more than having a cup of coffee or a bagel or something with the mayor or having a block party. Those things are great. And I'm sure the words get back from whatever the mayor hears gets back to staff, especially if it's a problem that needs to be solved. We have the website where we can send things. And we have the email system, no matter how difficult it may be sometimes to communicate things. And I know from time to time, petitions have been successful in communicating with the village from the community. But the one thing that I think about in terms of transparency, and particularly in terms of this body, is giving people the opportunity to speak to you before actions are taken. All right? It's a community of opportunity, so why can't we give the community an opportunity to speak on subjects that are coming before the board before the actions are taken in a public way? All these other opportunities where you have interactions are wonderful, but it's not for the entire public to see. So what I'm asking you tonight, again, is to join the other 21 communities that are in this area to provide some type of public comment prior to the votes. Now, in 2019, there was public comment before the agenda items. but primarily that was limited to things not on the agenda. So to my knowledge, agenda items have never been something that the public can comment on. Now, maybe that has been prior to 2019, but I went back and took a look at a lot of the videos. And I handed at the last meeting in February a number of different ways other communities approach this, whether it's they can comment about agenda items prior or during the meeting, but to limit comments specifically to the end of the meeting after all the action has been taken, in my mind, really does not talk about transparency. It's kind of like calling a witness to testify at a trial after the verdict's been rendered. So I please ask you, I'm hoping that there's some conversations going on already, but I please ask you to consider to give the community the opportunity to participate more actively in these meetings. So always, I thank you for your time and your service.
Thanks, Keith. Anybody else that'd like to make a comment? There being none, we're going to go into, the floor is closed. We're going to go into executive session. And Brian?
Correct. We need to have a motion, a roll call vote. The exemption is C1 to discuss the compensation of a specific employee.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Garner.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
So no action will be taken when we come back out.
Aye.